beautiful people. Welcome back. So, today we are going to do a recap and a review of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 3, Episode 9, titled Not a Yacht of Fun. Not a lot of fun, but not a yacht of fun, like yacht in a boat. So, we start off the episode. We're visiting everybody at home. We see Jen, in her kitchen. She is getting ready for the day. She's taking some medication. And she let us know that since her father died, that she has been depressed and she's been on antidepressants and it seems to be helping her. Also, we see where production does like a flashback of everything that's going on with Jen. We saw they do a flashback of the day that the authorities came looking for her and everything. So we know that it's on her mind that her trial is coming up. And in the caption, they put the trial is in either 3 months or 3 weeks. So we know that Jen has stuff on her mind. So we visit her. We visit everybody, just show a little bit. But then we settle on Heather, Angie, and Dana. They are meeting up at a restaurant for lunch. We have Angie H. She's already there, and she's waiting for the other two ladies to arrive. She went ahead and, pre-ordered for them, so I guess they could get the day going. We have Heather arrive first. They greet each other, and then we had Dana come. I think that, honestly, that Heather wanted to talk to Angie H about the fake Instagram page, but it so happened that Dana kind of took over the conversation. She let them know that she was at Meredith's house when Jen called to invite Meredith on the girls' trip, and told Dana that she was not invited. So Dana brought that up, and she's like, "You see what I mean? That is what I really don't like about Jen, because I go in and I voice my opinion about her. I think she's aggressive. I think she's loud. And those are the words that people used to label people." And she's like, "I really don't like her." But she's like, "I was invited to the girls' trip by Meredith, and I'm actually going." So Angie H said, "Girl, you are invited as a guest of a guest and you're going to go?" And then she said, "Yep. And then when I get there, I'm going to tell her how I feel about her." So Angie H said, "Girl, you must have really left your mind at the door. You don't do something like that." And that's when the episode ended. So we didn't get to see Heather and Angie H talk about what's going on with the Instagram page because, like I said, Dana took over the conversation and let them know that she is going to the girls' trip. So, all right, we follow the couples around, or the ladies around, with their families a little bit more. And then we come to the day they're getting ready for the trip to San Diego. We had Lisa tell John that she needs to go down to the Louis Vuitton store because there's a couple of things that she needed. John's face is like blank, like, "Girl, really?" We have Whitney packing and Justin asking her, "Is everything you're putting in that suitcase have a tag on it?" She pops the tag off and like, "Nope." Then she was like, before he lost his job, she said shopping was her therapy. So now we know what Whitney's doing with the money that she's making from her business. So everybody's getting dressed now. We see where we had Meredith come over to Jen's house at one point, and they were just talking about the upcoming trip and stuff. So Jennifer gives Meredith a title. She calls her the CEO of Fun. So she's like, "You're gonna be my wingman on this trip." It so happens that it's Ramadan, and Meredith tells her that Jen says this is the best time of the year to talk to me because you're not supposed to break Ramadan by getting upset, getting angry, getting into fights. So Meredith said, "Okay, since that's the case, let me let you know that I invited Dana to come on the trip." And Jen was like, "Did you plan this?" So she's like, "All right, as long as you control her, it's fine. You could be in charge of her. I don't have to talk to her." So now we get back to everybody packing. Now it's the morning of the trip. People are meeting up at the airport. We see Jen arrives and we see Dana basically ignores her. She goes in the confession and she's like, where on earth is Heather? Where on earth is who else is she looking for? Meredith. She's like, those are my backup people. They're not here and I feel really uncomfortable. Jen goes, she's not gonna say hi to me and it's my trip. All right. They get on the plane, they do their thing, they get to San Diego, they get in the Sprinter van, and they get to the house. Remember, the house that they're staying in is a friend of Angie K's, which is a friend of Heather, of a friend of Jen for over 20 years. So apparently Angie K, she knows the layout of the house. So, she's taking them on a quick tour of the house. Now she's showing the rooms and stuff. She's giving room assignments. And to a point where Jen took offense. She's like, well, wait a minute. This is my trip. Why does it feel like you're taking over my trip? But if Angie K knows the layout of the house, why isn't she the one to show it? But if it's your trip, Jen, then you take over. So they came into the kitchen for a powwow, and I'm guessing, like I said, Jen felt that Angie K was taking over her trip, so she put a stop to it. She whispered something to Angie K, and Angie K was like, "Girl, there is no need to be a B. You don't need to be that way because you're a pro." And I'm like, "What the hell are they talking about?" So I guess they had some words exchanged between them in front of the other ladies, and Jen took a glass of champagne and poured it on Angie K's head in front of the ladies. That's one of the most demeaning things you could ever do. And I guess when she didn't get her reaction from the girls because she thought it was fun, she then tells Angie K, "You could pour it back over my head." And Angie K's like, "No, I'm not going to do that." Jen then takes the glass out of Angie K's hand and poured a glass of champagne on her own head. She still didn't get the reaction she wanted because she's saying that it's supposed to be fun. Everybody's supposed to be fun. Everybody looked mortified like, "Girl, did you really just do that?" I mean, it was just so awkward. It was demeaning and it was mean, in my opinion. And of course, some of the other ladies voiced that. So now they're like, what the heck do we do? They were so uncomfortable in the group. Everybody retreated to their respective corners. Everybody found their room where they were staying. And then we start having the side conversation. Lisa went with Angie K to her room. And I think one of the reasons that Jen was upset was that Angie K took the master bedroom, which is the best room in the house. Jen felt that being that she was the hostess of the trip, that room should have been hers. But Jen isn't doing anything on the trip. It seemed like she delegated everything to everybody. She's making Meredith the CEO of fun. She's using a house that her friend is a friend of a friend. So exactly what are you in charge of, Jen? You're supposed to be just up there and but you're supposed to make sure that everybody's having fun. And that what you did to Angie K was not nice at all. But like I said, Angie K went into the bedroom. We had Lisa follow her. And Angie K kind of pointed out to her, "Lisa, why didn't you say something to Jen in front of the group?" She's like, "Yes, I really should have." Lisa is saying that now she feels like she's the one having to call out Jen on her behavior and stuff like that. And she doesn't want to be in that position. But as a friend to both ladies, she needed to have said something, which she didn't. Okay. They had their little talk or whatever. Jen went outside. I believe it was, who followed her out there? It was Whitney and Meredith who followed out there. Again, Jen is trying to plead her case like, "I was just trying to have fun. I didn't really mean anything like that." But she looked like she's trying to take over my trip. And both ladies told her what you did was wrong and you need to talk to her about it because it wasn't right what happened. So, okay, the ladies now, they decide they're going to go on the yacht. So everybody get ready to go on the yacht. But before we do that, we have Angie K in the confessional tells us that the party that they had for Coach Shaw, that it happened at her house, and she paid for everything, and the total bill was $15,000. So I'm like, what? She paid for it all. Jen has not reimbursed her for anything, and because of what happened, she said she was gonna let it go, but because of what happened, she wants her money. She's gonna send Jen an invoice. She wants her $15,000 because she could have used that money to buy her daughter a horse, and she still bought her daughter a horse anyway. That's to tell us that, girl, I got the money, don't worry about it. I could let it go, but you know what? Since you want to be petty, you're going to pay me. So she's going to send Jen an invoice. So, all right, they get dressed. Now they're sitting. The tension is thick towards Whitney's point. She said the tension is so thick that if she had a zit on her face, it would pop by itself, the way everything was going down in the house. So now they're like, all right, let's go. They're all getting the Sprinter van. And as we know, it goes down on the Sprinter van. That's where things pop off when it comes to, remember, when they were looking for Jen, that's where they were getting ready to go on a trip on the Sprinter van. So again, we get on the Sprinter van. You could feel the tension in the air. Nobody's saying anything. They're doing little side conversations, trying to laugh it off, trying to lighten the mood, but it was just not happening. So Whitney's like, you know what? A conversation needs to be had. Let's go. So Jen makes a statement, and Angie got into her. She read down the line everything that she's done for Jen. She let her know that she's being a bee. She let her know that she is not happy about what happened to her. She's like, I'm a respected woman. Why is it that you would do something like that? She said it was humiliating and it was embarrassing. How come you can't keep a friend? She told Jen off. She read her up and down that Sprinter van with her words. I like Angie K. I like her. She stood up to Jen. You know how Jen sometimes would get loud and stuff? She had nothing to say. You know why? Because she knew what she did was wrong. That was totally wrong of her to pour that drink on Angie K's head. So now we get back to, she even brought up the fact that she paid for the party, for Cherie's party, and Jen has not reimbursed her. Jen was like, that's not true. I just gave you a $5,000 necklace. We had to run back where we had the cameras there, and the cameras let us, man, producers can be shady as well. I love it. So she's telling, the reason she brought the necklace over, she's like, I can't get these on with my nails. So therefore you could have the necklace. So Angie was like, I don't want that necklace. No way. She's like in the confessional. I don't need the authorities of New York to come down to Utah, find me, and take that necklace right off my neck. I'm like, yo, that right there was a burn. But of course she said it in the confessional. And then when she said that about Cherie's party, we had Heather in the confessional. It's like, wait a minute. I had that walkthrough for that party. But what are you telling me? She's like, Angie K had just finished her house. She hadn't had a housewarming party. So she suggested that they had Cherie's party there. So it was a combination housewarming and birthday party. So Heather was like, wait a minute. That's what we're doing now? We're doing invoices? Even Jen said it. If that was the case, we're doing invoices for party, then I need to send Meredith an invoice for the party I threw for her a couple of years ago that cost $80,000. Jen, that money was not your money that you used to throw that party. That was all the money that you took from those people. And when you did have the party, I didn't feel like it was a party for Meredith at all. That party was all you. So I don't know how you're saying you threw a party for Meredith when the whole thing was centered around you. Poor Meredith was like, what? Yeah, so that is where we are. We are, as they say, bringing receipts, and Angie K brought the receipt. I'm glad she really told Jen about herself. She's like, it was embarrassing and humiliated. She's like, I'm a respected woman. Of course, she's throwing in the profanity there. And then she's like, how come you can't keep a friend? So yeah, she told Jen about herself. Now we actually get to the ocean. You're getting ready to go on the boat. Ladies are still trying to lighten the mood. They were like, can we just get through this day and then we decide what we're going to do? So Jen has the two ladies around her. She has Meredith and she has Heather by her side trying to calm her down. But we all know, and Meredith did say it, we all know the reason Jen is acting out like this is because she is afraid of what is about to happen to her. She is uncertain. She doesn't know what's going to happen to her. And she has the potential of going away to prison for a very long time. And that is what's on her mind. So them taking the trip might not have been a good idea, you know, when she knows in the back of her mind that when she comes back from it, she's still gonna face with the problems. Like Bob Marley said, you're running and you're running and you're running away. But you can't run away from yourself. Can't run away from yourself. So I think that is what Jen was actually, you know, that's what's on her mind, and then she needed to talk it out with her friends. She's wondering who has her back in this situation. She's running out of money, like she said. She had the conversation with Sharif. They show us a clip of it where she's letting Sharif know that they need to send $200,000 more into the attorneys so they can continue working. And as we know, in social media, even though they did all that with the attorneys, Jen ended up taking a plea deal. Yes, the attorneys did their work, but girl, you should have did that from the get-go and save all that money. They're saying allegedly that in order to help pay for her legal services, Jen's mother had to dip into her retirement, and it was millions of dollars. So it's affecting the whole family, and I know she's thinking like, okay, how am I ever going to pay these people back and stuff like that? And she's worried about what's going to happen to her. So she is just being mean to everybody around her. Angie K decided that, girl, I've been your friend for 20 years. I've ignored a lot, but this was the last straw. Enough is enough. And she read her for filth in front of all her other friends. No more keeping up appearances, Jen. Your true friend is letting it out there. So while they were on the boat, Jen was just crying. She's just talking about things all over the place. Talking about, she's my friend and so forth. But y'all watched the episode, so you saw. So we're still on the boat in the next episode. When episode 10 comes around, we're still on the boat. And we're going to see how things pop off. She's falling apart. She is falling apart in front of all her friends. And it's understandable because her life is on the line. She is about to go to prison. And she does not know what is ahead of her. So that's where we have it. And she is feeling that she is not the queen bee anymore. Other ladies are coming for her crown. But Jen, if you're going away, that crown is up for grabs. Another thing that happened in the episode is where, I'll tell you, Heather makes me laugh. Heather's like, I'm kind of glad that this thing pop off between Jen and Angie K, because if it didn't, the focus would be on me. And I don't feel like dealing with the drama this weekend. So I'm kind of glad this is happening. Heather is funny. But as we see in the next episode, they're not going to let Heather get away with it. Heather is going to have to get into some drama with some of the girls. So yeah, this episode was a little bit all over the place. I know my review was a little bit all over the place, but it coincides to what we just watched. Anyway, guys, this is my recap and my review of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 3, Episode 9, titled Not a Yacht of Fun. I do thank you for watching/listening to my review. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like the video. And if you're listening to this on my podcast, Reality TV Space with Georgia Denise, be sure to subscribe to the podcast, download, and share this episode. And until next time, be sure to take care of yourselves and your families. Bye-bye.